Well, hi there, I didn't see you. Today we're going to be talking about installing a package of bees. The first thing you want to do when installing a package of bees is relax. This is a super simple process. All you have to do is take the bees and put them into the hive. There's no magic, and it's really pretty hard to mess up. There are a few steps to installing a package. Number 1, open the package. Number 2, check the queen. Number 3, put the bees in the hive. And number 4, put the queen in the hive. Here's what a package will look like. It's going to have a queen cage, a can of syrup for feed, and 2 to 3 pounds of bees. When you pick up your package, there may be a few bees that died in transport on the bottom of the package. If there's a lot of bees dead on the bottom, like the whole bottom is coated, then you're going to want to talk to the person that sold you or delivered the bees to you before you pay them. This might be an indication that they're heated in transport, which could damage the queen. Check the queen when you install them. The person you bought them from should have extra queens just in case queens die in transport, and we'll talk more about this later. Once you bring them home, they are your responsibility, and if the package was delivered in good condition, you've received exactly what you paid for. If your package looks good, bring them home. It's ideal to put them in the hive as soon as possible, but you can wait if you have to. If you can't put them directly in the hive, remember these few key points. The bees have nothing to cling to in the package, so they can't heat or cool themselves like normal. Try to keep them calm and comfortable by keeping them in a cool, dark place. Your bees have a jar of food in the package, but it could be empty. If your bees came to Michigan from California, they may have been on the road for a couple days and even sat in garages on either end. If you can't put them in immediately, make sure they have access to a jar of sugar water. Your goal is to install your package of bees into your hive as soon as possible. A few hours wait is okay, and even overnight is all right if you picked up your bees in the evening. However, you want to make sure that you don't wait on installing your package for more than a day or so. You're going to need the following equipment to install your package. First, you're going to need a package of bees. Second, a fully set up hive with 1 deep or 2 mediums. Third, a hive tool. And fourth, a rubber band or a thumbtack if you don't have any drawn comb. Bring your bees to the hive and make sure that it's fully set up. Give the package a thump so the bees fall to the bottom. This will allow you to remove the feed jar and remove the queen cage by pulling the tab attached to the cage. Don't worry if some bees escape, they'll find their way back to the hive. Once you have the jar and the cage out, you can recover the package. Check the queen and make sure she's alive and moving.
She's moving.
If she's dead, then stop. Call the person that you bought the queen from immediately. They should have replacement queens available. Keep the queen in a safe place. Your pocket works just fine. Make sure that the hive is set up and ready to go, so it's quick to close once you get the bees in. Remove a few frames from the middle, making a gap so that you can dump the bees into the hive instead of just on top of the frames. You're going to see a lot of methods for this, including ones where they leave the bees in the package or try to let the bees crawl into the hive. I'm not a huge fan of those methods for a couple reasons. First, bees are going to cluster where there's a mass of bees. They may not go into the hive on their own, and they can die of exposure if you leave them in the box outside of the hive waiting for them to go in. Second, you want the hive to be as normal as possible, as quickly as possible. If you leave the package in the hive, you have to go back the next day to remove it. This is a big extra disturbance to the bees. If you wait more than a few days, they're going to make a mess of comb, and you're going to cause even more disturbance to the bees trying to get them out of the box later. Your bees are going to be much happier and healthier the quicker you get them in the hive and the quicker you leave them alone. That's why I actively place bees into the hive. With your queen someplace safe, take the lid off of the package and turn it over. This is going to pour the bees into the hive. You might have to thump the sides to cause them to let go of the walls, or it might be possible to open up the package to cause even more to drop in. Whenever you thump bees, do so firmly. Don't do a lot of little shakes. If the bees have been in the package for more than 2 days, you can release the queen directly. Open up the screen of the cage and set the cage in a manner where she can walk into the hive. Now, there is a chance that she can fly away, so keep the opening pointed down so she goes into the hive. If your bees have been in the package for less than 2 days, which is not very common, you can allow them some time to get to know each other. Just attach the cage to a frame with a tack or a rubber band, or stick it into some comb if you have drawn comb, making sure that the bees can access the screen. Now, some queen cages will come with a candy plug. I prefer the direct release to the candy release, and we'll cover the queen releases in another video. In a day or two, you're going to come back to release her from the cage. Make sure you put the frames in the hive slowly, allowing your bees time to move out of the way, making sure that you push the frames to the middle and have good spacing. Add a feeder with 1:1 sugar water and leave them alone for a week, making sure they don't run out of food. To recap our session on installing packages, the overall goal here is to get the bees in the hive as soon as possible. It's not worth messing around with slow ways to introduce bees because it often just causes problems later. The sooner you get the bees and the queen into the hive, the better. Just dumping them in is perfectly fine, and usually it's fine to release the queen into the hive. Give them some feed and let them go to work.